For the chair, for the vice chair. Did you guys talk about it?
I'm running for chair.
Okay. Run for chair.
I promised last night.
Since we have you, Dave, since we have you in person, Brian, do you want to be vice chair here, or Dave? Dave? Okay.
No, chair.
Dave for,
I propose for chair.
Mark.
Vice president. Vice chair. Man.
Para chair, él.
El chair. Pero pónganse de acuerdo los dos, porque que yo le dije la noche, last night, I told him, hey, I propose.
Yeah.
Yeah, last night.
Él quiere la chair.
Pónganse de acuerdo, se pongan de acuerdo yo dos. A ver qué.
So, do you want the vice chair?
Okay.
No, see, you're hearing voices.
Okay.
This.
Good evening and welcome to the Budget and Finance Subcommittee meeting. Today is Wednesday, January 13th, 2016. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, councilors. This is the first Budget and Finance Subcommittee meeting of the year. As a result of that, I am here to open the floor for nominations for the chairmanship for the subcommittee. Councilors, at this moment, I would like to open the floor for nominations. Are there any nominees?
I nominated Councilor David Abdul.
There's a nomination on the floor. Councilor Abdu, do you accept the nomination?
I'm humbled, but I decline.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate it. Are there any further nominations on the floor?
I nominated Councilor Marla Plan.
Okay. Councilor Mike LaPlante, do you accept the nomination?
Second?
Is there a second for the nomination?
Second.
Second?
Accept.
Okay, Councilor LaPlante accepts the nomination. Are there any further nominations for chair? Seeing that there is none, I would like to call the question. All those in favor of Councilor Mark LaPlante for chair, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Congratulations, Councilor LaPlante.
Thank you. That was hard earned. Wow. Good evening. Thank you, councilors, for your support. Thank you for your support for this position. This is one of the most critical committees that we have in the city council. Obviously, without this committee voting on budgetary matters, what we're doing in the city, the services that we provide for our constituents will not take place. So it's a critical decision of committee. And I want to specifically thank the council president who served on this as chairman for the last 2 years, or was it 4? Just 2?
2 years.
2 years. For his fine work and working in his, succeeding him is going to be an awful lot of work, but I look forward to pursuing that. And I know that each one of us brings a lot to the table. I look forward to working with each of you very diligently, and I know that we're going to be very serious and we're going to make some positive decisions. So thank you all so very much. So, first thing I want to do is to accept nominations from the floor for vice chairman. Is there a nomination?
I nominated Mr. Abdul. He's my candidate. Yeah, I nominated Mr. David.
Mr. Abdu has been nominated. Is there a second? Is there a second to that nomination?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. If there's no further nominations, all the nominations are closed. I'll call the question. All in favor of David Abdu as vice chairman, vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. No, the ayes have it. Congratulations, Vice Chair Abdu. Okay. Do you want to say a few words, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair?
Ready for the first item.
Very good. We'll start off.
That's good.
The very first item this evening is document 7-16, appropriation transfer from free cash to the fire suppression overtime Fire Chief Brian Moriarty. Good evening, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So you have an item before us. Could you describe what this item is?
Yes, we've come to that time of year, we run short on the budget for our overtime budget expenses. We need to get an increase in our overtime budget, and I'm asking for $300,000 so that we can get through the year. It's extremely important that we get through the year without shutting down apparatus, which would reduce safety to not only the public, but to the firefighters. I prepared a document of all the things that we've done in the past. I gave it to the clerk. Do you guys all have that, sir?
I believe so. Was this dated December 30th?
Yes.
We have it. You all
Okay.
have it?
So in that document, I described all the things that we've done throughout the year to try to keep overtime down, and all the things that have happened that have cost us overtime as an explanation.
So on our budget right now, let me pull this up just real quickly. And counselors, or new counselors, if you do not have a copy of this budget, I'm not sure if you do have a copy of this current year's budget. We can arrange for that if you don't have it. Mr. Rhinello, sir, if these counselors, the new counselors do not have budgets, could we make sure that they get copies of this current year's budget at some point soon? Yes. All right, thank you. Is there any comments or questions on this transfer? I'd like to know, Mr. Rhinello, how much, I know I read the article in the newspaper the other day about how much free cash we have. Can you give us an idea of where we are right now with free cash after these two expenditures?
Nope, it's okay. Excuse me, I brought that with me, I just gotta pull it out here.
And typically, we have these in our packets, at least it has in the past. Am I right about that, Mr. Adams? That's right.
Okay, we have free cash certified at $7,482,819, and there's two uses of free cash before you tonight. One for $300,000 for the fire department overtime, and another one for $54,000 for uniform replacement. So that would leave us with a balance of $7,127,946.
The fire chief, I know there's a lot of items on here. Can you pull out one item that you think that should be highlighted as something that we should be highlighted as a point of either pride or distinction out of how you're able to save money in this current year?
You want to know something in here that we did that helped us save money?
Right. Pick up one item out of these things that you think is the most significant one that we should be mostly aware of. Or,
the first few I can explain, the stopping coverage of spare apparatus. Whenever we go mutual aid in the past, they used to staff a truck to cover us, just on an in-case basis, in case we get a fire, just to keep our staffing level up. I stopped that, and that was always an officer and three firefighters with a minimum of 4 hours. We go mutual aid approximately 15, 20 times a year. We have 0 extra manning, and the NFPA states that we should be running 4 people, an officer and 3 firefighters, per every piece of apparatus. That is a minimum standard recognized nationally. Typically, every day, we run below standard, but at a standard that still keeps the truck in service. So that is a major savings from what the standards say we should be doing. Instead of having an officer and 3 firefighters every day, we have an officer and 2 firefighters on each piece of apparatus. And so all our hiring of overtime is just to maintain that minimum level. So we're actually operating below standards on staffing levels, as the NFPA would recommend, but yet we still keep the trucks in service with the absolute bare minimum, because we couldn't go less than that, because you can't send someone into a fire by themselves. Another thing that is in here is the firefighter shifts. I move firefighters around to maintain an equal balance on each one of the groups. Currently, I have 26 firefighters assigned, so our minimum staffing is 24. So the first two that are off, we don't have to hire overtime, but anything over that, if anybody's over on vacation, sick leave, personal day, whatever they're on, that's when we have overtime. So hopefully in the future, this grant with the 7, it'll add another 1.5, almost 2 per group, and we'll be able to help keep that down as well. Now we'll have 4 people on a group before we have to hire for overtime.
On all of these changes, and there's about a dozen of them complete, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me?
It echoes, but I'm listening.
Is this better?
It's the echo of the speakers, but
So out of these 12 or so items, did any of these require any kind of negotiations with the unions?
no, these have not.
So we can do this without union approval? You can unilaterally just do this?
I did these within the collective bargaining agreement. The moving of people is, I'm authorized for the good of the department, so I didn't have to negotiate, correct?
I'm not sure if there's any other questions by the body. If there is no questions, I'll entertain a motion to send to the full council the favorable recommendation.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we send to the full council the favorable recommendation.
Motion been made. Is there a second?
Second?
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. The next item, Fire Chief?
The next item, Council, is for the $54,873 for equipment replacement. When the budget was put together and we organized it, we had not received the FEMA SAFER grant, so we weren't expecting these additional 7 firefighters. Then we got the grant, and we had to get them all 2 sets of gear. They have to have NFPA-approved gear to go to the academy. So this money simply is the cost of their uniforms, turnout gear, protective equipment, so that they can go to work as firefighters and be protected. The grant is a non-match grant, so we got $1.2 million for these 7 firefighters for 2 years, and we're asking for $54,000 to equip them, put them in their uniform and proper protective gear.
But it's not a grant. It's an appropriation transfer from free cash. We're
That's
not
the
talking about a grant.
$54,000, yeah.
Right, okay.
I was just explaining why we needed it,
Okay.
and that was because of the grant.
Are there any questions regarding this item? No. Is there a motion to approve the favorable motion to send it to the council, favorable recommendation?
So moved.
I make a motion.
Motion made and seconded. I've got, any discussion? One real quick discussion matter. I know that we should anticipate, I think, in an earlier conversation, we should anticipate that we will see you again sometime soon, because you're anticipating some more fund expenditures from free cash transfers. I just want to make sure that you make us aware, all of us aware, that that's going to be happening, so we're not caught off guard, and that this is planned.
Yes,
and
sir.
this is not a surprise, and you're trying to do it the right way. so.
Absolutely, sir. I'm trying to plan ahead, and just recently I was notified that these retirements would probably happen before the budget year ends, so I will be before you again. I will be presenting letters explaining why, and probably have to come back for you, the unplanned retirements.
Very good. Okay, the motion's been made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Einello. Are you here for anything else this evening?
I have two grants, the addendum items.
What we're going to do, I think we may have talked about this, I've seen the addenda items. What we're going to do is we're going to table those items unless you're going to tell me right now that there's need to be brought up to the full council by the next meeting. I don't believe the posting requirements were adhered to properly, just to be on the safe side.
Well, so they weren't posted for the Budget Finance Committee meeting, gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, if it's all right with you, we're going to table those matters here, and then we'll move on at the next meeting, next Budget and Finance meeting.
That's okay, it's not a rush.
Okay. And it's not even on our agenda, so.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Abdu?
Point of inquiry, is that 316, 1116, and 1216, or
That is correct.
a portion thereof?
Those three items, we're not going to take those up tonight.
Thank you.
Council, is there any other items on the agenda that you want to take up this evening?
Mr. Chair, just for the purposes of the housekeeping, I believe maybe we should make a motion to table. I know, or actually at this point, no, because they were not posted in the original agenda, so they're not existent in this agenda. No, I'll take it back.
Okay. Anything else, councilors?
Mr. Chair, also, I'd like to make a clarification on the voting members in this subcommittee. I think it's important that we clarify that there was a human mistake made when the voting members were listed in the agenda. The actual members are the members that are present tonight. Councilor DeBabdu, Councilor Brian DePena, Chairman Mark LaPlante, and myself, Kendris Vasquez.
Duly noted, and from this point forward, we'll make sure those are properly placed on the agenda. Anything else, Mr. President, excuse me, Mr. President?
That is it for now. Meeting dates.
So my recommendation to the committee is to make it Wednesday nights on the off weeks. So we're gonna be a busy committee in that, we just plan on having that the week after the regular city council meeting. The week after that, we'll have a Wednesday, so we'll be here the budget and finance.
Wednesdays at 7 PM?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If there's no other business tonight, is there a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to adjourn?
Motion's been made.
Second?
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you, councilors.